Greenhouse gases contribute to global warming by trapping the sun's heat in the Earth's atmosphere, much like glass traps heat in a greenhouse. The four greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, and nitrous oxide. They trap some of the sun's heat close to the Earth's surface rather than letting it escape to space.
Gases absorb and emit infrared light if they vibrate at the frequency of the light, and if its vibration has a dipole movement that affects the electric field. O2 and N2 are not greenhouse gases. Only molecules with 3 or more atoms are greenhouse gases. All molecules with 3 or more atoms are infrared active, like CO2, NH4, N2O, and H2O. So, are greenhouse gases friend or foe?
How does stuff in the atmosphere move? Newton's law states that anything in motion stays in motion unless an outside force acts upon it. The kinetic molecular theory is more specific to gases. It starts with the molecules of a gas move in a straight line unless a collision occurs and they are directed in a different direction. How does carbon dioxide affect this? The atmospheric boundary acts as a barrier, enclosing the carbon dioxide into a smaller volume. The ideal gas law, PV equals nRT, shows us that with the same pressure and temperature and R is a constant, a molecule moves with a constant energy. As the temperature increases, it increases the kinetic energy with it. Carbon dioxide raises the temperature in the atmosphere, thus making the particles move faster. With higher temperature, there's more infrared radiation. Since CO2 vibrates a certain way, it is affected by an increase in infrared radiation. This constant cycle continues to negatively affect the atmosphere.
Are there benefits to the greenhouse effect? Yes! Plants require carbon dioxide as food in order to produce oxygen through a process called photosynthesis. Without greenhouse gases, the Earth would be too cold to live. Any living organism needs sufficient warmth and light in order to survive, so the warmth of the greenhouse gases has sustained life on Earth since the beginning of time. It sustains a balance that is necessary for us to live.
However, too much of a good thing can lead to bad things. Too much CO2 can be the cause of extreme natural disasters. Because of the rising temperature, warmer water evaporates more quickly, causing thunderstorms to form more easily. Heat increases the strength of hurricanes by increasing wind speeds and duration of hurricanes. For example, Hurricane Katrina. Many scientists believe that warmer oceans will lead to more tropical cyclones. Carbon dioxide gas is the higher contributor to global warming, contributing 82% of all greenhouse gas emissions. And when the increase of CO2 teams up with deforestation, there are less plants to absorb carbon dioxide, leaving excess CO2 in the air. So where does CO2 come from? Naturally, humans and other animals produce carbon dioxide as we breathe out. However, this does not affect our atmosphere as much as other human activities. Carbon dioxide has been stored inside fossil fuels for millions and millions of years. But as the Earth has become industrialized, we have needed to use these non-renewable resources as fuel. 37% of CO2 emissions is from the combustion of fossil fuels. For example, when we burn crude oil into gasoline, we burn coal for electricity, and we burn natural gas to make propane for stoves. 31% of CO2 emissions is from transportation, like planes, trains, and automobiles.
In a flight from New York to Switzerland, 1.74 tons of CO2 is released. Air travel increases by 5% each year. Over a century ago, the Swedish scientist Svante Arrhenius said on global warming, "We are evaporating our coal mines into our air." He meant that when we burn our coal mines, which release CO2 into the air, they do not mysteriously disappear. They become ever-present in our atmosphere, and there are consequences. He believed that the burning of coal mines and releasing CO2 was resulting in a more heated Earth. Even then, the scientists were aware of our atmospheric problem.
Why is photosynthesis important? Photosynthesis is a chemical process in which any plant, like tree or flower, absorbs CO2 in the atmosphere, which combined with water and light creates a combination of glucose, water, and oxygen. This is the chemical equation. The oxygen is released back into the air. This is one of the atmosphere's ways of naturally restoring itself. Several steps have been taken by world organizations to eliminate excess CO2 in the atmosphere. Both the UN and the World Health Organization have made laws to reduce pollution. In addition, laws that limit levels of pollutants and waste gas from factories and cars have been put into action in several countries. A simple rule is using less energy burns less fuels, so efficiency is key.
There are steps that we as individuals can take to help our atmosphere too. Planting more trees, saving forests, reducing our use of air conditioning, reducing energy consumption, using alternative fuels, and recycling. Global warming is taking its effect rapidly, but it is not a lost cause. By reducing our greenhouse emissions and working towards a greener Earth, we could not only slow down the effects of global warming, but over time return to the chemical balance we need to sustain a healthy life on Earth.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.